Hello, everyone. Happy holidays to everyone, and welcome to the VooPlayer Q&A weekly webinar call. We're going to get started here in a couple of minutes, but before we do, if you can just confirm that you can hear me as well as see my screen before we get started, that would be great. Just type, yeah, we can hear you, and see your screen in the chat box, and we can get started. Thank you. All right. Dimori is saying that the audio and video connections are good, so we'll just take that as a confirmation for now. We have a low turnout today for the webinar, only a few of us on the call, which is understandable due to the holiday seasons. So just allow me to wish everybody happy holidays, happy upcoming new year, and a lot of business success from us at VooPlayer. Our wishes for you. So let's get started. So we are holding the VooPlayer weekly Q&A webinar every week, as the name says, and we answer questions which you have, as the name says, as well. So the purpose is really to provide any training on advanced features, answer any issues which you find, gather feedback from you guys as users so that we can implement it and improve VooPlayer even further. Also to showcase any new stuff that we've been working on. So the format of the webinar is pretty straightforward. So you guys just type out the questions in the chat box, and we'll just answer them in the order that they come in. So if you have a question, now would be a good time to type it out in the chat box so that we can start answering them. Also, in addition to that, better late than never. I did remember to post a post on Facebook to see if there were any questions before the webinar, but I posted that half an hour ago, so unfortunately I don't think anybody got a chance to post any questions yet. But if they do come in, I'll keep an eye on that so that we can answer them as well. All right. As I said last week, we are wrapping up 2017 and reviewing all of our results and how we performed and how VooPlayer is performing as an application, and are finding and are finding a lot of places where we can optimize both on the size of the team as far as the development and how we are providing support and training, as well as the redesigning some of the major features. I did let me see if I have that somewhere available. I did go into the roadmap, what it's going to be looking like for the first 6 months, and we've made some fine tuning to that. So that's coming to a pretty stable point of what we want to do in 2018, and we're going to be posting that once we finalize it in our release notes, so that everybody has a good idea of what's to come in 2018. Considering that the new version of VooPlayer, version 4, has been released in mid 2017, we're still kind of these have been our first 6 months, and we hit some bumps, but we also were able to overcome them in a significant way, which resulted in a lot of improvements. So and 2018 has a lot in store to offer. So we are definitely looking forward to continuing to improve. So that's kind of our main focus, just reviewing some stuff and planning stuff for 2018. So we're currently and implementing some performance optimization. So we're not currently working on any major new features. I did have one thing, and this came up as a kind of one-off that we decided to implement based on a request, but it might be good to know in case that you guys have uses for this. So if to a list of our external providers for videos such as YouTube, Vimeo, Facebook, Google Drive, Dropbox, etc., etc., etc. We've also added support for Instagram videos. So if you take any Instagram video URL and come over here to the WooPlayer application, I'll just come over here to create a new video by URL and just paste that. We are now accepting Instagram URL, video URLs as well for creation of WooPlayer videos. So that's one small enhancement which we had since the last webinar. And we also, upon request, are considering, and it looks like it's going to be fairly straightforward to facilitate the support for using WooPlayer for securing and playing audio files across the internet with the ability to leverage a lot of these marketing features which WooPlayer offers. So that's also one of the things that's upcoming is support for audio files on the web to be used in WooPlayer. All right, I see some questions piling up, so let me start getting to those. So let me. I see all of them are from DeMori, so I'll just read them all at once. So on finish action, when using live streaming, although I saved the redirect URL, it keeps removing this redirect when I check another time. So redirect URL has never worked for me. The video is a YouTube video. All right. So be able to run off simulated counter and show no number at all. Simulated looks completely fake. It's showing actual numbers, having 10 people watching, and showing this count doesn't look good. Sorry, so a lot of this seems like it's with regards to the live streaming. So let me just jump into this video and start going through some of this stuff. So we'll create this video, and I'll come over here to audience events, interaction, and live streaming option. So I'll skip the start and end times for now. So I'll just jump to the simulated number of viewers. So if you're publishing a conference and then you want to have an option to have a number of simulated attendees who are viewing that conference, so be able to turn this off or show no number at all. I thought that was the case in case you don't specify anything. So I'll set this to whenever someone joins and turn it on. And let me just publish that. And I'll go over here and do, actually, let me just come over here because I need to grab a specific URL for this. And I'll grab the share URL and just open up that video to see that simulated number. The case should definitely be that if you don't specify the number of simulated attendees which you want, none should show. So let me just actually come back here to, I need to take another video just for a second really quick, rather than this one. No, that's the same one again. Sorry, just a small fumble. This one might be good. So this is a good testing video. It's just a blank black video. So I'll just use that real quick. So let's come over here to live streaming. Whenever someone joins, turn it on, publish it. All right, video has been updated. So it should be good. Grab the share link for that. All right, we're good. All right, so here is how the live conference looks like. So it does seem that by default we are providing a number. That's not something that I expected. The desired behavior definitely is that if you don't have a number entered here, we definitely shouldn't show a number. So we will definitely fixing that. We're gonna consider that as a bug rather than as feedback, because it doesn't make any sense for simulated numbers to show if you haven't entered anything in. But it looks completely fake. It's if showing actual numbers, having 10 people watching, and showing this count doesn't look good. Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely just treat it as it was envisioned as an enhancement rather than something that should be there by default. So again, apologies for that. Looks like that was a miss on our behalf. So also, I can't find where to change the text of the conference has just ended. I want to replace the word conference. Can change the beginning, but not for end of live stream. I don't believe that there is an option to change that at this time. So something like that is definitely an enhancement which we need to integrate. And I think we've already collected feedback for implementing the ability to change all of the text on the conference. We just haven't gotten around to doing that yet. But additional feedback and reminding us that we need to do that is definitely helping. So I think we had a lot of requests to be able to change a lot of stuff with regards to the conference and the look of the clocks and so on and so on and so on. So that's definitely coming up on our priority list as we get to it. So that there is currently, I believe, no option to change the conference ended view, but we'll definitely add something, an additional option for you, excuse me, to customize how what's displayed when the conference ends. All right, so as this is a recurring webinar, I would like to remove the days countdown as it's hourly. Currently, this spans over 2 lines instead of 1 line, and it would look much neater if the countdown timer was on 1 line. Yeah, definitely, and also that kind of depends on how big is the area which your video occupies on your pages. So we definitely need to dedicate more time to enhancing both the appearance as well as the customization options of the conference, and the clock itself has been something that we received numerous feedback about, both with the ability to so let me just come over here and say, all right, I want it to be recurring hourly, and let me just move up to the future, let's say at midnight and 8. So I'm going to save that and refresh it over here. Conference has just ended. Yeah, so that's the screen that we were talking about. Did I save that? Sorry. Let me just refresh that. Or did I need to update the live streaming? Let me just make sure. Live streaming, recurring hourly. Seems like, repeats every, let's say it repeats every 1 hour. Why not? Sounds good. Save. All right. Hopefully that'll work now. Yeah, so the days countdown over here is definitely not needed if we're under 24 hours. But by default, it's just an added configuration that we need to consider, and it shouldn't be that difficult to implement. So it's certainly something that we can support in the future. So great feedback there as well. All right, let's see. Also, the first item was on finish action when using live streaming. Although I saved the redirect URL, it keeps removing this redirect when I check another time. So redirect URL has never worked for me. This video is a YouTube video. All right, so let's try to do this. So I'll come over here and specify an on finish action, and I'll redirect to blueplayer.com. Why not? And let me just turn this on and we'll publish that option. Oh, actually, I also need to change, so I'm able to join. So I'll just join over here and change this back to make it available whenever somebody joins. And let's save that and refresh it. So this way I should be redirected at, I think this video only lasts for maybe 10 seconds and it's just black screen. So sorry for the black screen, but it should be ending here pretty soon. And the conference has just ended and now it's redirecting me to voolplayer.com. All right, but the problem is that then when I'm publishing it, so I'll come over here to publish it, and I'll specify a custom end time for it. So I'll come over here to share a link and I'll specify an end time of, let's say, have this video end at second 5. So that should be pretty short. And then in that case, apparently the redirect should not work. So let's try that. Let me just jump back from voolplayer over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 should be ending around now. Oh no, I haven't. I need to grab the new URL for the end time. Sorry about that. So share link, and I'll specify custom end time at 5 seconds. So this is my URL now with that end parameter over here. I got redirected once more. Let's jump back really quick. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The conference has just ended and it's redirecting me to voolplayer. So I don't know if I understood the, I'm also embedding the video on WordPress page, not using the voolplayer page. All right, yeah, we can give that a shot as well. So I do have a test environment on WordPress which we can use. So instead of the share link, I'll use the embed code, and I'll also leave it to be end at 5 seconds. So let me just create a new post, and we'll add a new one, and we'll put this embed code in here. Test redirect. Dimori, if you have maybe a URL to that particular WordPress page where you have the video, that way maybe we can look at it directly rather than me trying to replicate it. That might be helpful if you have a URL to that page. So we were able to just troubleshoot it directly. All right, so here's this page with that video. So the conference should be starting. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 5. So conference has just ended, and now I'm being redirected to voolplayer. So it might be an issue with a specific video. So if you have a page on which that is happening, this is just going to keep redirecting me over and over again. So I'm just going to close it. If you do have a page, yeah, all right, excellent. That's perfect. All right, let's pull it up. So we have the countdown is going to be in 39 minutes. So let me just do another thing real quick so I don't have to sit through these 39 minutes, but I will check it with the actual time as well. I just want to save us some time, so I'll just do a little trick here. I just need to grab your user ID. So this is a, let's see who we have. Who do we have here? Just 1 second. So you are me at DennisMorrison.com. All right. All right, Dennis. No need to change it. Don't worry about it. So just want to come in and take a look at it. So I'm just going to log in as Dennis over here. So let's see. Let me just make sure this is a test webinar. Training video, timer test video, VST test. It looks like it's that one. So I'm just going to jump into the settings for that one. VST tests. It does look like this is the video. Interaction. Yeah, so I think this is your video, Dennis, if I'm not mistaken. So it does have live streaming option, and it does have an hourly recurring webinar on it, and it does have an on-finish action, which is not specified. So, all right, it looks like, oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so it looks like you don't have a non-finish action specified. So you should come over here to the on-finish action and then specify the redirect to URL option. Currently, it's not turned on. Nothing is turned on here. I just saved this 1 minute ago. All right, let me refresh it real quick. Maybe it hasn't been updated yet. Would it be okay if, oh, you just added it right now. So let's take a look. Audience events, interactions, on finish action. Nope, still not there. Let me try and debug it real quick, maybe just to make sure that there's not an apparent problem. Hopefully it'll be okay for me just to try and add a quick redirect over here. I'll revert it back to the way it was. I just want to make sure that everything is all right. So if I try and redirect to Google.com. So if I try and save this video, let's make sure everything is okay. So now it's been updated, and now I come back over here and it's still there, and I refresh it. I redirect it to Google. So let's see, I'm just going to refresh it just to make sure that it's been saved properly. So come on back over here to audience events and interactions and on finish action. And it looks like that hasn't been saved. All right, well, we finally found out what the issue is. So the issue is that for one reason or another, the redirect to URL is not working on this particular video. All right, cool. So that helps us as we now know where the issue is and why that doesn't work. So it doesn't have necessarily anything to do with the end time, but for some reason that particular setting is not being saved on this video. So all right, so that's a bug. So we'll take a look into it and follow up with you with a resolution. I'm pretty confident that we can resolve this by tomorrow, and we'll give you a heads up on what was the issue and what was going on. All right, so hopefully that resolves that. Let's see if we had any other questions. I think that answers all of them, unless we have something else there. Let me check the Facebook group in case somebody posted a question. Let's see. On the Facebook group, we still have no questions, I believe. No questions on the Facebook group. All right. So that's really all that I had. Unless you guys have any final questions, feel free to post them in the chat box. If you do, otherwise, sorry, I was just looking something up. Oh, hi, William. So William seems to have the question: can the embed code or the video link be prevented from being shared, locked? You have a couple of options there. So the first option would be, let me just log out of this account so I'm not using someone else's account for this. So let me just log out really quick and log back in into my own account. All right. Let me bring up back the application. All right, so I'm logged in. So let's say that I want to prevent people from sharing my video or stealing the embed code from my site. So if I take this black video once more as an example, I'll come over here to publish options. So this is the link that we're talking about. And the embed code is going to work in a fairly similar manner. So currently, as we can see, anybody can watch this video. If they have this URL, anybody can watch it. So what I can do over here is come to edit the settings for this video. And one of the settings which I have over here on the right hand side is the video watch page, and that's that URL page and everything. I have that redirect on there. So I'll come over here to that video watch page, and there is the first option over here is to disable the watch page, which means that only the private embed will work. So turning this on will allow this video to be watched only as an embedded player. So that's going to be the first thing that we're going to do, is come to the watch page and disable it from being watched and just save the video. So when I come to this video, let me just refresh it now to make sure that these settings have been saved. So I come over here and it says owner of this video has disabled viewing from this page. So the URL link being shared is now handled. Now, next up, we have the embed code. How do we prevent somebody? So I come over here and grab this embed code and put it on my website, and it's okay for me to be played on my website, but I don't want anybody else to be able to grab that embed code and just put it on their website. Similar to how you can do with YouTube, you can just grab the embed code and put it wherever you want. It's just going to work. So in order to prevent this from happening, it's why we created, you have two options. One is you can do this globally for all of your videos, or you can, and I'll run through that scenario, and you can also do that individually for each video. If you want to manage that individually for each video, you can come over here to video settings, and there's an option to apply the global sharing policy. You can, however, turn this off and specify the domains which you want to be only available to play this video. So for example, if I specify voolplayer.com here, my video is only going to be able to be watched from voolplayer.com. If a request comes from google.com, let's say Google stole my video and wanted to embed it on here, this will allow me to prevent that. I will only specify voolplayer.com here, and that's going to be the only domain from which my videos can be played. And as I said, this is individual setting for per video basis. However, you can also specify this on a global level for all of your videos at once. If you just come over here to your settings menu at the top and come to allowed domains, selecting that option will bring up the setting for all of your domains. So currently, I'm a rather specific use case, but because I have some, let me just try and delete these. So this and this, maybe I'm going to be able to do that, maybe not. But here you're probably going to see the option to enable or disable your video to be played on all of your domains, and then you can specify which domains you would want your videos to be played on. I use my account for a lot of testing, so this looks a bit weird right now, but for you guys, it should be pretty straightforward to toggle this on and off. So hopefully that answers that question. You can control the link by going to the watch page settings and then just disabling it from being accessed, and you can control the where the embed can be placed by setting the domain names, which can be which are whitelisted either on an individual video or globally for your account. All right, so let's see. Another question from Demori. Can we add different size videos, i.e. narrow videos or square videos, or does it default to 69 and 4.3? Yeah, you can definitely. So let me try and answer this in another way. You can definitely provide videos in any aspect ratio. So you can add like a phone video like this, and then when you come to publish it, currently, this is not publicly available, but there is one trick which we're kind of currently using for scenarios where this comes up. Currently you can just say, all right, I want either this to be an adjustable player size, or I want to specify a custom size, and so on and so on and so on. However, we do have one hidden parameter, and we're thinking about including this. And it's a fairly simple parameter, which I think says something to the effect of, I think, aspect ratio equals 1, for example. So that means the ratio of the player should be 1:1, meaning a perfect square. Whereas if the aspect was 2, it would be a relationship of 2:1. So you can just specify which aspect you want in I think in actually decimal. So you would actually go with 0.5 rather than 2. So that's one way which we have that available currently, but we don't provide a user interface to support that feature, just because we haven't had a lot of requests for supporting something like that. And one user asked us about that previously, and that's why we developed that aspect parameter. But we'll definitely consider about including that in the user interface as well. We just didn't want to overcrowd the options without the need for people to interact with that. But seeing that there is a need for that, definitely encourages us to try and fit in that option in the configuration menu for generating the embed code. So yeah, that option is definitely available and supported. It's just that it's not it's not necessarily directly available from the application, but that's kind of the trick that we're using thus far, just adding question mark aspect ratio to with the parameter of that aspect ratio. So you're free to test that out, but we definitely need to facilitate that in the application itself. All right. We are running out of time, so let me just do one more final check on if there's any questions on the Facebook group. Nothing there. I don't see any new questions in the chat. All right, so that's going to be it for today. Thank you everybody for joining and providing a lot of good feedback. We're able to identify a couple of bugs here today, so we'll work on resolving the issues with the saving of the live settings as well as the counter. But I think the counter itself is going to have to wait until the next release, which should be after the new year. So I think on January 2nd, that's going to be available. All right. So again, thank you everybody, and I wish everybody a happy new year, the following new year, 2018. Thank you for joining, and thank you for helping us improve VooPlayer continually. All right. Bye, everyone.